Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for coming by. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can hit the button below and subscribe. You can also like the video if you like the video. So this particular channel this playlist on my channel is going to be about different tips and tricks and kind of sometimes my pet peeves and different things that opinions about tango, to help you out in your tango journey. So this particular video is going to be a pet peeve. What I'm going to talk about is the open side of the embrace. So over here on the open side, I find that we have a common problem around the world, and the problem is the torque that we put inside of the follower's wrist. So a lot of times I see that leaders do something like this, where they turn the wrist in, and hopefully not hurting my partner's arm here, and then they might even start to bend in this way. And you can see there's varying degrees of how much her wrist is going to bend, and I don't want to hurt her, but I see so many people with this bent back, twisted wrist, almost so that her hand is facing outwards and down. So something like this, yeah? And we have to be careful about how much torque we're putting inside of our partner's wrist. What I look for is a very straight and ergonomic wrist. I don't want her wrist to be tweaked or bent. Also, I don't want her to be this way either. I see sometimes we get people who lead with a flat wrist here, which doesn't really make sense to me, but I guess the reason, well, I don't really know the reason, but what's happening here is if I try to give any information over there, I'm giving her information, as you can see, at this angle, which is quite strange. Yeah, and what I want is to connect this whole thing with her body, so if I come forward and she uses this side of me, it goes in through her frame and not just her wrist. If she has a bent wrist, she's going to receive it in this way, as you can see. If she's got a straight wrist, it acts like a lever. Yeah, so the information is going clear through her body and not creating some strange stress on her wrist. So be careful and think about how you set yourself up over here. Another thing is, if you're doing pivots, I think it's actually very good to put this hand at the same level where she touches you over here. So instead of, some people doing their ochos with a really high left wrist over here, but I put it down at wherever she touches me on my right side. This is going to be very comfortable for her because if she stays right there, her hands and her frame is really at the same level instead of being tilted or being lopsided with one up. Yep. So kind of thinking about how we set up our frame, giving her really nice even information and not torqued information. If you're kind of curious about how this works, take your right hand and I want you to put it up like this and twist it outward, to the world. So twist it away from you, so the palm is facing away from you. And you can feel kind of a torque that goes on in the wrist and torque that goes on in the arm and how uncomfortable that is. And then if you were to keep it there for 4 hours while you danced, you'd probably not really like that. And then if you start to add a bend into it, and if you're having to use that for information, you're going to find that you probably are going to start to collapse this arm because you don't want to be using it as you should be. You don't want to be using it, so you'd be collapsing it, kind of evading pressure, or you might be changing your elbow angle to kind of avoid the torque and the pressure. So leaders, if you are going to use the open side, I suggest not twisting in. It's so common that people twist in like this, and give something that's very straight for you and very straight for her. Even if this means as you come in, so I dance very open, with an open, not open embrace, but wide frame. I don't dance very close. But if you dance close, you want to be cautious about what happens as you do this. You can dance closer, but as you do that, make sure that you're not tilting in. This is what commonly happens, is as this left hand comes in, it starts to go in this fashion. Yeah? Another one that I see often is the thumb lead, right? There it is. You get all the information right from that thumb. And then we kind of hand over the partner's hand. This is very toddler-esque, kind of like leading her around like a toddler. I want to hold her whole hand, give her all the real estate, as much real estate as she can use to receive information. Chest, arm, just like in the embrace, I don't want to give her just a part of my chest. I want to give her the whole chest so that she can receive as much information, we can feel as much of each other as possible. Same with the handhold. So on that open side, try not to get all torquey and bent out of shape in that space. All right, so I know it's a tough one, leaders, but that's just one suggestion, one tip for the day. Hope you enjoy it. Again, hit subscribe if you want to see more of these coming into your inbox. I'll be trying to put these out regularly. All right, thanks for stopping by.